Faldo, the defending champion, one of several good stories here this week. Greg Norman, another looking for redemption after last year. Arnold Palmer coming back and playing in his first Masters since cancer surgery. And then there is Tiger Woods. What kind of shape is his game in? Well, last Friday, back home in Orlando, he played a friendly little practice round with his friend and neighbor, Mark O'Meara. O'Meara had a pretty good day. He shot 66. Tiger had a better day. He shot 59. 27 on the backside, 5 birdies, 2 eagles. Apparently, Tiger's game is in pretty good shape. At the Masters, I'm Jimmy Roberts, ESPN. Welcome back to Augusta. Nick Faldo attempting to become the first player in the 61-year history of this championship to win back-to-back titles on 2 separate occasions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jimmy Roberts. And after all the cruel twists of fate, after all the disappointments, last year it finally looked as if Greg Norman would attain what he had said all along was the most important thing in all of golf, a Masters championship. But instead of becoming the first player in 20 years to go wire to wire as the leader, he established another record. He surrendered the largest 4th-round lead in major championship history. It was an unforgettable day for anyone who was here, least of all, Greg Norman or Nick Faldo.
I don't remember ever feeling that way on the golf course. You know, everything felt different. My feeling was like it was lifeless.
What should have been Greg Norman's day in the sun had turned into his darkest hour. There had been absolutely no warning.
Good luck. Thanks.
I got to the golf course feeling great. I didn't have any nerves. I mean, nerves where you get, you know, oh, God, can I do this today? Or I've got this little bit of doubt in my mind. I never get that way.
You know, I was relaxed Sunday morning and everything, and obviously thinking about it. But, you know, all I knew that was, you know, I got to go and do what I've got to do. You know, I've got to try and put a score on the board and then see what happens.
And so Faldo did what Faldo does, put his head down and played steady golf. Meanwhile, Norman's very first shot of the day was offline and led to a bogey, an ominous harbinger. By the time they walked off the 8th green, a 6-shot lead had become 3. And then, things started to happen very quickly.
The second shot into 9 was the telltale sign for me that there was something wrong with my golf swing. I mean, normally I can improvise and get the job done, but I was starting to feel totally out of whack. And when I hit that shot into 9, I actually thought I hit it perfect, but I hit it right down the flag, but it came up about maybe 30 inches short, and it came down and I made a 5. And people might say, well, what are you trying to play that shot for? Well, I'm 104 yards from the flag. And with a sand wedge in your hand, I think I can hit it.
At that point, are you perhaps a little panicked, thinking that, hey, this felt perfect, it didn't go perfect,
I don't know whether panic's the right word, but I knew there was something now going on up here. At 9, when I'm going to 10, I said, that's okay, you still got the lead, not a problem, just start the day from now. Drain your head of everything. That's exactly what I said going to the 10th tee.
With the lead now down to 2, Norman missed his approach on 10.
I had an easy chip straight up the hill. I mean, the worst case scenario is you leave it a foot short. The best case scenario, because it's an easy chip, you make it. I tried to make it. I hit a good chip, but I hit it 4 feet too far. What happens? I missed it coming back. Now what happens? Now you've completely gone against the entire mental approach, the way you play the game. You know you violated the cardinal rules of Augusta, chipping past the hole, and don't be aggressive, and don't try and force the issue at Augusta. Now I know that I've done the wrong thing within my head. That's why I said I've never experienced that before on a golf course in my entire life. The fact that I was fighting myself within myself.
The lead was now 1, and on the same green where 9 years earlier Larry Mize had driven an unlikely stake through Norman's heart, the Shark saw a potential birdie turn to an inexplicable 3rd consecutive bogey. The match was now even.
You know, that was a massive momentum swing. I think, and 12 was a real match play situation. I had the honor, and if I hit the shot onto that green, I mean, I just put a ton of pressure on him.
With Faldo safely on the green of the tournament's most famous hole, Norman tried to aim at his ball, but pushed it right, came up short, and took 5. In 4 holes, Norman had gone from 3 up to 2 down.
That was an amazing day. I mean, the pressure was rapidly coming onto my shoulders, and then all of a sudden, bang, by the end of 12, it's all totally on me. Now, as I walked off there, I thought, oh, wow. you know, now this is mine to lose. You know, the fact that I played in, you know, I made 3 birdies coming in, I think that was, you know, I played all of the key shots. You know, I locked him out.
At 15, Norman felt he had one last chance.
I took about 8 to 13 deep breaths in a row, hold it for about 5 seconds, and just let it out real slow, and just getting all I said, because I'm saying to myself, look, if you make this shot, you can still win this golf tournament. It was like somebody had come along and taken everything out of me and dumped it right there in the face of the 15th green, just everything. When I walked in the next tee, I felt terrible. You know, I felt that's when I knew that the thing was gone. That's why I did the swing on 16, because I didn't see my shot.
Is it possible to feel sorry for somebody at that point?
Oh yeah, I think after he hit his shot at 16, it's like, oh boy, he was getting a hammering. I wasn't hoping that on him. Obviously, I wanted to beat him fair and square, but I wasn't hoping on the way it unfolded.
What had seemed outrageous to even suggest in the morning had become an incomprehensible reality by night. Both men were gracious, yet branded by the unthinkable events of a day when things happened that people only dared to consider just 24 hours earlier.
The wide perception is perhaps that Faldo didn't so much win as Norman lost. But remember, Faldo's 67 was still the low score of the final round. Had he shot par, there would have been a playoff. Now, only 2 players in the history of this event have more green jackets than Nick Faldo does, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. At the Masters, I'm Jimmy Roberts, ESPN.